We're Shirley and Murray Ansell, co-founders of Life Energy Coaching and co-creators of the Life Energy Coaching energy transformation process. Today we're going to do a demonstration of this process, just to describe it to you and give you a little bit of background so you know what you're about to experience. This is something that came to us really about 16 years ago, and we were not self-aware particularly at that time, and it came in response to a challenge that we had in a previous business. One thing led to another in a very serendipitous series of ways, and I was the initiator, I suppose, or initiated first, but I became connected with, through my higher self, which I only just discovered even existed, with the highest frequencies in the archangelic and the ancestral master realms. They, it turned out, wanted to help, and our personal journeys became the catalyst for the creation of some really, really interesting interdimensional work. So Life Energy Coaching is an example of this. The work of these amazing light beings has also become embodied in products that we don't even have active involvement with other than to offer it to others. So there are a number of different ways that people can access their energy. Today we want to invite audience members up so they can share with us and everybody here something that they want to shift in their life. It could be what they might consider to be a problem, which is really a wonderful growth opportunity. Or it might be something where they really do want to move forward and grow in some area, maybe in their business, maybe in their financial situation. And it's going to be used for expansion in that regard. So typically, our clients will come to us with, or they have in the past at least, come to us with some kind of quote-unquote problem. And that problem has been the catalyst for revealing wonderful things about them, their purpose, and helping them on a path into living that purpose. Could we have a show of hands as to who would like to be involved in this today? Okay. So keep your hands up, and I'm going to just tune in. I just call it source energy, this highest frequency guidance. And it's going to tell me who's going to be the first up. It's going to be Scout. Welcome up.
All right. And I'm going to hand you the mic.
Thank you.
Scout, why don't you tell us what you're looking for out of this transformation session?
What I would love is help support expanding into my next level of adventure. I've been, for about 10 years, helping people with their own perceived problems, or, it has become very clear to me that part of my life is not that I won't be helping, but it's much more about expanding into much greater. I did a session with my guides not too long ago, and they said, got to tell you what you're about these days is celebration. So I would like help expanding into that.
Okay.
Wonderful.
May I ask, how do you feel about that?
Excited. I feel excited. I also feel I'm very aware of my own patterns of resistance to that level of expansion. I'm really aware of this. You've just heard me speak about what I see as our potential, and I'm very aware of the sensitivity of my own antenna, that there's definite trepidation and,
Okay, where do you feel in your body what you were just explaining it to us, or sharing it with us?
Say right in here.
Okay, why don't you just focus at that spot at this moment and just breathe. And just let it go. And just let me know if there's any kind of a shift. Just put your focus right at that area that you were feeling kind of angst or anxiety.
Let's say it relaxed some, it moved down, some into my legs. It's, yeah, it's sort of,
It's like draining down?
it's like draining down. Yeah, it's like letting go.
Okay, just put your focus more in that area again, more. And just breathe. Okay, you can tell us how you're feeling right now.
More relaxed. Yeah. Oh, sort of open.
Is it like 100% relaxed, I'm ready to go? Or is there still kind of little
No,
resistance?
there's still some, yeah, it feels like preparedness in my legs, right?
Yes, it's
ready
like,
to-
the
ready.
crazy glue is holding you. All right, you can just move a little bit, shake it.
You're being called to be
Yeah.
a more vigorous expression
Yeah.
of divine feminine. And you're going to exemplify this and break some of the taboos that females, and you have them all in your multi-generations of them in your body, expressing themselves and resisting this. But this is the power of divine feminine that you are helping to birth. So it's coming up against the
Protection.
the pretty girls and the less vigorous
A nice
of your
girl,
ancestors.
they don't do things like that.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling at this moment?
Excited.
How about physically?
Physically?
Physically, well, excitement is physical. It's like tingly. I'm ready.
I'm getting everything's done.
It's done.
All done. That was easy. What's going to happen? This happens up here, but it also happens over the next 3 days. The archangels work with all of us over the next 3 days. So you receive the information that you needed to receive. Your bodies received the information it needed to receive. And anything else that is really more detail is going to be handled over the next 3 days within you and within all of us. Because all of us have this divine masculine, divine feminine emerging within even the males in the room. So,
You want to say something?
I feel amazing. I really feel it's up in here now. This just amazing energy. Feels
Maybe you want to just verbalize it a little bit. I know what you're trying to say, but just verbalize it for the audience and especially for the people that they are going to watch it later on. So especially if they are newers, so they understand exactly if they are going to go through something like that, what does that mean for them?
It's just so resonant. It's so resonant. What you said is exactly resonant, bringing in the divine feminine. It's not the language that I use in my work, but I'm very aware of that as it's the balancing, and so it's just like my lungs are bigger.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's give a hand. You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
go forth and be magnificent.
All right.
Okay, so we have a couple of others over here. So
Yes. Okay.
come on up.
There you are.
Explain what your
Yeah, well, it's an issue that's been around for almost a year. It's not a physical issue, although it does have a physical manifestation in my body. My boyfriend and I have been trying to buy a house, and we've just come up against obstacle after obstacle. And while it seems like a financial obstacle, maybe there's something else energetically going on. And where I feel it in my body is in my neck. It's very stiff, has been for about 3 or 4 months now. I actually had a car accident in January, and I had a little whiplash, and that could be partly the reason. But anyway, I've still got this stiffness in my neck.
Accidents tend to be manifestations of self-punishment for some reason.
Okay.
But let's tune in. So Shirley,
Yeah. Why are you punishing yourself?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, you do. You do.
I do.
Yes, you do.
I don't deserve.
That's one.
The house is a very big symbol, has a huge symbolic resonance to me because I was brought up by a single mother and we never lived in a house when I was a kid and we never had any stability. So the house represents this huge thing. It's like, it's my home. It's the place where I get to be stable, that I've never actually had before in my life. And so there's a lot of undeservingness around, I don't deserve that. I'm just this little nobody who doesn't deserve stuff. Yeah, so that would be.
Yeah, just seconds. Right. The reason I asked the question is that you do have the answer. Like she has the answer, which we all have the answer within us. Because if I give the answer to her, she's going to say, "Oh yeah, that's what it is." But as soon as she walks out of this room, she's going to forget about it possibly. But if it comes through her, that she owns it, she's embodying it. So it's not that Shirley or Murray says that, oh, it's because of you're not deserving. That's why, But no, now she's actually voicing it and then owning it that, she has that thought.
Right.
All right. So now, is that a helpful one?
Is what helpful?
Not being deserving?
No, of course not.
Absolutely not. All right. Yes. Go ahead.
I was just getting that you've become entrained by client energy. So you've taken on some client energy.
Mm-hmm.
So is this a boundaries issue? Yes.
Okay.
And is there a root to this in early childhood? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Something to do with your relationship with your father?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a bit about the relationship with your father.
I didn't have one. No relationship with father.
So,
Completely absent.
So source, is there an attempt here to fill a void with the client energy? Yes.
Mm.
So it's just a recognition of that and a recognition that you can parent yourself, even in the, our brain is saying there's something missing, and it's always looking to try to fill voids and things. But your higher self, that part of you that is your connection with the highest frequencies and God energy, spirit energy, source energy, is your provider, is your supply, source of supply.
Right.
And that is really what you are reaching for.
Yes.
And it's not surprising really that it would be coming through those who would be paying you, because it's that supply association that the brain has made.
Mm-hmm.
So Source, is there anything else that would be helpful with respect to that link? So I've got everything there. So what that's going to do is shut that valve, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
So all of us who are helpers, when we become helpers of other people, and some people call it the healing arts. We call it more the aligning arts, because everybody's whole and complete exactly as they are. But we can activate things in our DNA. We can pick up patterns from childhood conditioning. We can even bring patterns through from soul history that our soul intends to work out in this lifetime. So this may be coming from those other two sources as well, but it's really your soul is in charge of what's been going on, and it's bringing this stuff up to the surface. It's bringing you up the frontier, and it's helping to get this resolved. Do you have anything?
Yes, yeah. How's your neck right now?
Feels a little looser. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but you still feel kind of a little tension, or?
It's looser.
Is it 100% or?
No, it's not 100%, but it's a lot better than it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's something else.
There's something else
Yeah.
that that I'm working on, or something else. What? And I
Something, yeah, it's about the
something
house.
about the
Yeah,
house.
Yes, yeah.
And it is from childhood.
Yes, I do. I work a lot with clients who have trauma, and that's my specialty, trauma. And there was a traumatic incident happened in the house, and I maybe that's being triggered by these clients with trauma.
Could be. From an energy perspective,
Yes.
Trauma is like a sarcophagus. It traps
Yes.
the other feelings that are present in that moment of trauma. There are other energies that act like that too, but particularly in this case it's trauma. So any trauma that you've picked up from clients, you just needed to be aware of that, so that can now all be released, and everything that's trapped within it as well can be released.
Yes.
Right? Because it's not yours.
Right.
So you can just send that to the light and let it be taken care of by the archangels and angels.
Right. Good.
So when you think about now buying a house, how do you feel?
Buying this house?
Yeah.
It feels lighter.
Because I want you to buy this house.
Yes. I want to buy this house.
Yes. Because we
The
want you
house
to-
wants me to buy it.
But first you have to be ready for that house,
Yes.
to be occupied in it and
Yes.
look after it and nurture it.
Yes.
So how do you feel when you can just look at it that, are you ready to sign, to get to the escrow and sign?
The house represents
Yes.
home.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
So how was home without a father there?
It was tough.
Yes. So now you're basically transforming that childhood energy around the home situation so that you can now reinvent your home energy.
Right.
And of course, home energy in its purest form is where we've all come from to be human beings. It's love. So in a loving relationship, loving boyfriend,
Yes.
it's where the heart is, so to speak. It's
Right.
really is love is home.
Yes.
So it's not a place. So I tell this to your subconscious so that
Yeah.
you can just recalibrate and let go of that childhood memory of what it thought was that's home,
Yeah.
and that's the house which is home. So, so how's your neck now?
Feeling pretty good.
Pretty good.
Okay. And what about the house?
I'm still ready to buy it.
But how do you feel? That's the point. I'm not going to let you go until you're saying that, yes, I'm going and,
My feeling has always been that the house is mine, already is mine, and it's just it's almost like the obstacles that seem to be there are not really there, but it's already mine.
That's the way. Excellent.
But I would like to feel a little bit more passion. I'm a very passionate person. So, when I'm working with clients, I want to see that like the
Yes.
So it's, to me, you're coming from a little bit too much from the head, the intellect. Oh, maybe this is what they want to hear. Or this is what I want to hear. No, we don't want that. Everybody knows here. So just be yourself. So I just, it's want to come from within.
Yeah, the house is my home, already is my home,
Okay.
and I feel like the house. To me, it feels like the house needs me to be there for it, and I'm going to be there for it, and I'm not going to let it down.
Okay.
That's how it feels to me.
All right. You did it. You own it.
Yes, yes, I own it.
Yes.
I own it.
All right. So how do you feel all together now?
Good.
Good. All right.
Thank you,
Yes.
Madison.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're most welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Enjoy the new house.
All right.
All right. I think it's Rico. All right, Rico. There you are.
There I am.
All right.
I have a physical challenge, actually. That's why it's really frustrating for me, because I have like a some nerve damage in my lower back, or a pinched nerve, or nerve pressure, and it's created this whole right leg has been numb.
Is it like a sciatica? Or
Well, I had sciatica for just a short time, and then it just left. Now my back's okay, but this leg has been numb for quite a while, over a year and a half. And so it's been real frustrating for me because I've always been super fit, and that's kind of my persona. And so it makes me feel that I'm not being as, because that's kind of my thing, that you can stay really healthy and fit, energetic all of your life. That's what I teach. And now I'm not as, I mean, I'm still good, but I'm not the way that I used to be and I want to be, and I'm not able to do some things that I want to do. So I know I got some blocked energy here, so I need to get, somehow, I'm not getting the energy to my leg to innervate the muscles in my leg.
Okay, right now, is it numb?
Yeah.
Can you walk?
Well, I can
Please?
walk. I can walk.
So,
I can still do some things,
but you feel,
but it's numb and it's.
where is it exactly, the numbness?
Well, it kind of goes down like this and then down on the inside of through here.
So it's coming from outside and then going to the inside?
Yeah, it's kind of coming from down here and going down the inside.
The word I'm getting is there's a self-identification with the physicality, with the physical body, which is causing you to lower your level of self-love.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Which is, it's kind of a catch-22 situation, but when you need to come back into your higher mind, I would say, rather than those lower mind, body conscious thinking, and just know that there is always help available to you. From what we've heard this morning, with talking with you and having great conversation, you've done wonderful work with nutrition, your exercise. It seems to me there's an opening up of a new opportunity for you in terms of spiritual connection.
Right, I've been working on it.
Yeah. And it's more of a process of allowing than working, because you're used to working. The physical side of things, the more resistance you put in, the better results you get. Right. On the spiritual side of things, the less resistance you put in, the better results you get. So it's just spinning it around from that old way to the new way will help.
You said it was a year ago this started?
It's been almost 2 years, actually.
Okay, what was going on in your life at that time?
2 years ago?
Yeah, if you can remember.
I can't think of anything too dramatic.
No, something was going on.
Well, there's always something going on.
Yeah, but
I don't think of anything that's real dramatic that's especially going on.
was the finances okay?
Yeah, I haven't been doing this well financially in the last few years. That's been a bit of a...
I'm also getting there's a boundaries issue which could be contributing to that. Okay. Once again, when you're a person who's transitioning from that helping people physically to helping them mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Right.
When we move into helping people from that spiritual, energetic, in those ways, boundary issues come up. Boundaries issues come up in a big way. There are a number of ways that we, as helpers, will have our energy vulnerable and permeated by other people's energy. One of them is empathy, for example. Another is sympathy. Another is caring. Another is taking responsibility for others. So I'm just bringing all of these things up. They all sound like they're pretty good things and wholesome ways to be. But the way to be that is coming from love for ourself, which has to come first, is compassion. So when you come across somebody who's struggling in some way and you feel you can help them, one of the things you might want to do is ask if this is for you to be of help. And it's an internal question, internal dialogue. If that's so, know that that person, as all of us do, has attracted the situation that they're in right now, even though it may seem like they have somehow been a victim of something, but at some level their energy has attracted it.
I understand.
Okay, so it's not yours to take off of them. This is really for everybody in the room. It's not for you to take it from them. It's for you to help them find that answer within them. We do this work with others and share these tips,
Principles.
these principles,
Yeah.
because it is our work to work with light workers and to help them accelerate or blow past, if you like, leaking their energy and pulling in other people's energy, other people's consciousness, and what that will do to our bodies and our minds, and in some cases our spirit, but mostly physical and mental and emotional. So let's see, so Source, is there anything else that you're wanting us to do with Rico today? Is all his symptoms are coming from taking on other people's energy? Yes. Are there any other ways that I haven't described that he has any patterns of energy patterns that he has that he needs to be aware of? No. So over the next 3 days, that's going to those things are going to get taken care of, and they can be rooted in conscious choices you've made, and more often than not, they're rooted in the activation of strands of DNA that you are not even conscious of that happening, but it's just interacting with people who have had those patterns, and their energies triggered your energy, so to speak, and activated those patterns. So, that means you have ancestors somewhere down the line who have had those patterns. So these are going to be reversed and transformed.
Yes.
I just want to say,
Go
to
ahead.
me, it kind of feels like, I believe everything happens for a reason. And to me, because I've been so mostly focused on the physical aspect and taking so much, importance of being so physical, that I think it's kind of pushing me to be longer on my spiritual path. So I can see that, I can see the benefit of that, but yet still, I mean, it just feels like that I should be able to heal this and rejuvenate the energy in my leg.
Oh, it will heal, because the energies that we're talking about, the healers are the angelic energies. Yes, we have innate intelligence within us, but when we're up-leveling, because humanity is up-leveling, we're moving from living from memory, from old consciousness that worked at the time and was good enough. It's sort of an approximation of what was, it's the best that we know. Now we're able to receive this energy through the higher self and get the benefit of the perspective of much higher frequency beings who are able to download this new way of being, this new consciousness into us. And as we do that, our energy opens up and we become like a lighthouse for the benefit of others. So yes, it's quite likely that you would continue with the route that you're on, but there's a whole new energetic dimension about to come into the work that you do, and it's not actually work, it's play, and it's just allowing. So your presence on this planet is bringing much more light, or will bring much more light, as you contain that after today, after the next few days, instead of leaking it out, and that'll take care of itself.
How are you feeling before you go?
How's the leg feeling?
Well, I appreciate the help. I agree with that. I think that's going to be helpful.
How's it feeling right now?
How does it feeling right now?
I don't know. It still feels the same, but
Okay.
Is it like a pricking pain or?
no, it's just a numbness. Just just numb, and my muscles got kind of weak in this leg.
Do you have some kind of an emotion that it has been, usually I call it like putting it under the carpet. Like, I don't want to go, I don't want to look at it. So, but in your case, it has been numbed. It's frozen. It's like, you know how we put food in the freezer and we freeze it? All right? So it's exactly like that. So it's kind of like, it's not frozen, but it's numbed, but it's there.
So you think I have a frozen emotion in my leg?
That's right. That's why I ask you
That's good.
what was going on 2 years ago.
Like I said, can't think of anything real dramatic.
Okay. All right. It seems like you are not ready yet, but what what you are receiving at this moment and what you have received today, it is going to be very humongous. And then, as Maria just said, the next 3 days also, those energies are still going to work on you. And then you are going to get the light bulb. And it's like, oh, this is why Shirley was asking what was going on 2 years ago. All right?
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Okay.
Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, that's a good point. There are people who consider themselves to be healers, who are doing the empath thing, and that's okay. They enjoy it until they get overwhelmed, and then they realise maybe this wasn't loving for me, because they've basically taken other people's stuff. So compassion is the way to go. Compassion is an aspect of love. Love has thousands of aspects. And so when we focus on, we have to start focusing on what's self-love first. And there are many mechanisms that can get activated in us that aren't loving for us. So as we go through this unfolding into being a helper of others, those will all come up, but that's part of the work that we've done to identify what those are and to close those down. That's why she doesn't feel it, I don't feel it. But we intuitively get that guidance through our own different mechanisms.
That is a great question.
Very
That
good
was a
question.
very good question. Oh, thank you. The yin and the yang. Yes. Yeah.
Murray
thank
and
you.
Shirley. Yeah.
Ah,
It's,
yeah.
It's interesting. Well, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say is that because we're almost coming towards the end of our time, is there are 3 key factors to living your life, to live your best life. Number 1 is ownership.
So you saw today that we didn't take ownership for anybody else's stuff. But if we're guided to, and it'll be for the greatest good of all concerned, we'll get whatever is for the greatest good of all concerned to share with that person. So all of us are attracting what we're experiencing. If we don't, until we own that, we won't get past it.
Number 2, self-awareness.
So we're on a path of coming out of the darkness and thinking we're our mind and body, or we're not what we do or what we have and who we're with, into recognizing that we are this being of light that's using this body, using this human mind for self-growth, but also for service to others. So that's something that's happening everywhere in the world, but I'm really preaching to the choir here because you're already aware of that.
And number 3, pursue your passion.
And so passion is the clue, the big clue that you're in alignment with your purpose, with your highest purpose, with your soul's purpose. Whoops. We're about to be tased. But that's the journey that we're on. When we find that purpose and we get aligned with it, then life becomes joyful. Then every step of the way is a journey of just exquisite love. We feel the love for every moment. We feel the love from other people. We feel the love for within ourselves. And we become that blessing that all of us would love to be. So really what we've done today is just demonstrate a fast track, an accelerator. It's to help people to find themselves, to take responsibility, find themselves, and to come into their purpose. And that's why the byline of life energy coaching is change your energy and love your life. Thank you.
Thank you.